Hey everyone, it is time to talk Major Hurricane Ian. I'm here with Josh Rugger and need to do a Facebook Live because landfall is literally less than 24 hours away, easily.
Imminent.
Maybe
Yes.
even about 18 hours away.
Yeah.
And something interesting with Ian, and we talked about this and I picked up on it, it's moving more northeast than originally thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a few reasons for this. That is a good question. Jacob asked, why are there no PDS flood watches? Well, actually, there is no such thing as a PDS flood watch.
Nope. And there's no such thing as a PDS severe thunderstorm warning either.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
But there is you have the different scales now where
Mm-hmm.
you have catastrophic considerable.
Yeah.
That's the tornado stuff, but you got the destructive. That's the tag that I was looking for. That's what they call it. All right. So let's get to it. Let's show you what we've got. Here we go again, Alex. It depends on where you're at because you can ride out a class 3, but if you're on the coast of the ocean and you get the storm surge of 10 to 15 feet on top of tornadoes, on top of winds, on top of power outages, I'd say it's more than just a no biggie.
No biggie.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. I think most people who live down there who get their homes destroyed will not think it's no biggie.
So here's the deal. The Tampa storm of the century, they said the same thing with Charlie. Charlie did not make its landfall in Tampa. In fact, it surprised a lot of people because Charlie was so small as it was moving northeast and took a hard right turn. And I was actually doing the morning show in Little Rock at the time, and I said, the Hurricane Center has this going straight north. I see it moving northeast. Mm-hmm. And I even tweeted about that earlier. So let's get right to it. We're going to show you all the stuff. So first of all, here is the high-resolution satellite imagery, and you're going to notice that this eye over time has definitely tracked more northeast. And it wasn't just a wobble. It's actually an eastward turn in the storm. If you have family in parts of this storm, this is exactly why I'm giving this Facebook Live and giving you all the updates because I can tell you this is a nasty storm. And yes, there are signs that it's going to weaken somewhat. Number one, it's going through an eye wall replacement cycle. Number two, we've got some dry air that's being entrained from it from the west. And so you can actually see the way that this hurricane is actually asymmetric. And what we mean by asymmetric is there's not, but it's kind of starting to expand a little bit. It might be strengthening. It might be going through an eye. Well, we know it's going through an eye wall replacement cycle. But as you can see, there's definite shear that's taken place. Look, I mean, check this out. You've got the western side of the hurricane, which doesn't have all four quadrants of outflow, which, by the way, the outflow of a hurricane is clockwise. Mm-hmm. And then you got the low levels, which is counterclockwise. So kind of cool stuff there, Josh.
Yes.
And you were seeing that shear, and that, I think, partially deflected. As you can see, I'll take this and I'll show you the track. There's the eye.
You can see it get sheared apart.
You can see it getting sheared apart. You can see the dry air getting entrained. You can also see the eye wall replacement cycle, but you can really see that northeastern jog. Now, it might wobble to the west a little bit, but there you see on the water vapor, you see this orange-colored air dropping in from the north. This is dry air that's being entrained. Hurricanes do not like dry air. No. As much as we like dry air when we're outside on a beautiful day. We like dry air. Hurricanes do not. They tend to weaken when that happens. And you can kind of see how the colder cloud tops aren't surrounding the eye. Yes, definitely the eye filled in a little bit. There's a look at that outflow, and then you can see the westerly shear, which is one of the things that the Hurricane Center was on top of, potentially weakening this. Now, here's the GOES infrared satellite. This takes it over Cuba, and you can see the eye was really well defined just north of Cuba. But then it goes through an eye wall replacement cycle. Now, that does two things. Number one, the outer eye wall collapses and the inner eye wall collapses while an outer eye wall forms. Mm-hmm. What that does is that spreads out the wind field. And when you spread out the wind field, that makes the hurricane force winds reach out farther from the center of the eye. So what's some of your observations here with Ian?
Convection around the eye
is starting to crank up again.
Yes, it's starting to crank up again. And that's where you're seeing the new small eye forming on this more higher resolution satellite, which is what we talked about earlier. You can't see this on a normal IR satellite. You have to use the high res version.
Yeah.
As you can see here.
So this is the lower res.
Yep.
And what we mean by lower res is it's, I'll tell you exactly. I think it's like the 2-kilometer imagery. No, excuse me. This is 4-kilometer. Updates every 30 minutes. And on top of that, you'll notice you don't see the fine scale features. Well, there's a thing called the mesosector. Mesosector updates every minute. If there's 2 mesosectors, if there's only one, you get 30-second updates.
Wow.
Per mesosector.
And that's
if there's only one.
And that's how you can see the new eye developing.
So now we're going to zoom way in, and then you get to see that the brighter colors surrounding the greens and the blues. The greens and the blues is the eye. So you have warming in the middle of it, which is sinking air. Despite what the day after tomorrow says, which sinking air is causing instant freezing, which is like,
what?
Totally against the laws of physics. My wife hates when I watch the day after tomorrow with her, because I'm just like, that doesn't happen. That's not right. That's wrong. Meteorologically incorrect. And she's just like, just watch the movie.
That's really funny because my dad loves those kind of like apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
He likes Independence Day. He likes Day After Tomorrow, War of the Worlds,
Armageddon.
We
saw Bruce Willis on the asteroid last night.
Yeah, we did. A lot of people got that on Twitter.
On a close-up. You had to look out. You had to look closely. That's why I wanted like a subliminal message.
Like there was like a guy on Twitter was like, what are we looking at here, Dan?
Yeah, you gotta zoom in.
Zoom in.
See Bruce Willis. Okay, so anyways, enough with that. Let's show you, see the pinks showing up? That is some high resolution satellite image. That's also thunderstorm. So it's starting to get that look. So I think we're going to be having some re-strengthening. Now, here's the very latest. And we're going to spend a lot of time on this track because I know you have friends and family. In fact, we're getting a lot of questions about it. All right. So what's the worst area? I personally think the worst area is going to be Naples, Fort Myers, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda. Almost a very similar location to what Charlie did in 2004. Now, Charlie was a smaller storm.
This is much bigger.
This is much bigger. Yeah. We live in Fayetteville, but we currently at Disney World sheltered in place. Wow, Dana. And this is exactly why we do what we do in terms of, giving you Facebook Lives, because so many people are impacted by this.
Oh, absolutely.
We got our general manager that's farther west in Florida, but still in Florida, contemplating leaving early. The track was a little uncertain, a few days ago. I always kind of thought West Coast of Florida was under the gun. But all right. So anyways, let's go back and we'll show you a little bit more. So Disney World is going to get this storm, and they may close the monorails like they did with Wilma. Wilma back in, I think that was also 2005. Yeah, 2005 was Wilma. That was one of the worst storms for the Disney World area. Now, notice the track, how it takes that northeasterly jog. You can really see it with the plotting and you can see the wobbles that it does. It definitely wobbles around a little bit because of eye wall replacement cycles and different tracks and stuff. But anyways, that is a northeasterly jog. That, if it continues on its northeasterly motion, is not going to Tampa. I don't see anything redirecting it farther north, but we could be wrong. Now the hurricane track, as it moves in, you can see how it's got it as a category 3, and then it just briefly strengthens to a category 4 as it makes its way towards Fort Myers. Now, here's the thing that you need to know. The eye wall and the worst of the storm is going to be on the east side of the eye wall. The worst storm surge is going to be along and south of the eye wall. Why is that? Well, because you get what's known as onshore flow. That's what piles up the water. That's what causes the storm surge. And so we've got right here where winds are going to be consistently blowing and piling up that water. And that's what's going to create the tremendous storm surge, which, by the way, we'll take a look at here in just a little bit. But again, there's the center of the circulation, the center of what's expected to be the eye, making landfall around noon tomorrow at its current speed. So who is not going to get the worst? Well, look at Tampa. Tampa's almost not even in the cone of uncertainty anymore. And then if we move it along just a little bit more, you're going to notice as it tracks northeast, now it becomes a category 3 as it moves onshore. So there's still some time for strengthening. And then you can see it moving northeast. And then there's Orlando. Now it shows it as a category 3 coming towards Orlando, but it's going to weaken into a tropical storm. With that being said, there will still be not only heavy rain, flash flooding potential, storm surge, there's also tornado potential. Prolific tornadoes.
Prolific tornado maker. Yes.
Absolutely.
Already.
So, by the way, it's going to be moving towards the Disney World area on Thursday. So tomorrow you're still going to get some rain and storms and potentially tornadoes. But the worst is going to be on Thursday morning as it crosses in. Now we'll take a look at this. We'll zoom in and you can see that's just on the west side of Orlando. So that's pretty close. However, you'll notice that you've got the cone of uncertainty that's kind of right across the area. So
but still expecting some pretty big time impacts though.
And there's a chance that it goes back out over sea, which looks like most likely a good possibility. Not necessarily re-strengthening, but that's always a possibility. But it doesn't quite hit the East Atlantic current, the really warm, the Gulf Stream, if you will, which is the warm temperature, Gulf temperature, or the warm ocean temperatures east of the United States. You know what I'm talking about?
It'd have to get a little bit further east to hit that.
Yeah. The EAC, dude. That reminds me of Finding Nemo. But anyways, that's what I was saying. Totally tubular crush. Remember that turtle crush?
Yeah, the turtle, yep.
So anyways, totally. There's the storm. All right, let's get to some of the other graphics from the National Hurricane Center, and we can take a look at kind of the storm surge, and we can look at the latest data. We can also look at the hurricane hunters, what they're showing. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring up one of my favorite sites, Tropical Tidbits. They've got all that stuff. They got the aircraft recon, where they're flying, what their pressure was. And so let's go to, I'm going to load this up real quick. So we're going to National Hurricane Center. All right. And then there's Ian, 952. So the pressure rose a little bit with the eye wall replacement cycle.
As expected.
Now here is the peak storm surge expected. And so Bonita Beach, you've got south of Tampa, Charlotte Harbor, 8 to 12 feet storm surge.
Ooh.
Let's make sure that you can see this. Yes, you can. All right.
That's not good.
No, 8 to 12 feet storm surge, which, by the way, I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. You're okay. You can come on in. Southernmost point. I've been there. You've been there.
Yep.
In the Florida Keys, western Florida Keys, Key West. Now, the water is pretty low usually.
Yes, we were looking at our old pictures.
Yeah. Looking at old pictures.
Yeah.
You have the old pictures.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to show you something here.
That water is not high at all most of the time.
So we're going to go to
we're going to the webcam.
We're going to go to the webcam because I really think this tells the story. You got to go to southernmost point. Stand by. Hopefully it's still up and working.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Oh, that was a good view of it before. I wonder if I can. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'll do. Bam. I'll shift print screen that.
Aha.
Okay. Now we're going to bring this up full. All right. Stand by here. This is going to be pretty cool. Yeah, I know. I'm going to add it to the stream. There we go. So this is the southernmost point. Obviously, it's at night, but you're going to see waves that crash into this thing. First of all, the water is all the way.
Look at that.
Man, look at those waves. Super crazy. While we're looking at this and watching this stream of the southernmost point, you're going to see some pretty impressive wave action. And by the way, those waves are usually really low.
Yeah, no,
they're not as high.
Very tranquil.
And that's also covering up a lot of the southernmost point. So this is southernmost point in the United States, basically in Key West, on the far southwestern side of Key West, Florida.
Yes. And like you said though, usually the waves out there are very tranquil.
I took a
Very quiet.
screenshot of this. Let's see if I can. Yep, I can. Cool.
Heck yeah.
All right, so this will give you a good idea. If I crop that and then just zoom in a little bit. There you go. Okay, so stand by. I'm going to show you something else here. We're going to remove this real quick. We're going to share screen, share a window. This is what it normally looks like. There's the southernmost point on paint, and you can see how low that water is. It is not very high up. And then there's that building on the left-hand side. Now that building is causing quite a bit of wave action as well. So let's go back to the live stream. We'll remove that, and then we'll add the other stream here. Southernmost point, back to our wave action. And while in the meantime, this will be a great time to kind of answer some questions that we might be having on here as we're watching this wave action. So, all right, here we go. Evacuating isn't easy, but absolutely indicated here. Yeah. So, Ryan, it is not easy. I've heard a lot of people, I think 2.5 million people evacuating.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And while, it might weaken some, and, according to some, maybe no biggie. I don't know. All the tornadoes that have already been reported, the storm surge that's happening, and, it may not be a Katrina. I don't think it'll be a Katrina, but it'll definitely be one of the strongest storms that's hit the west coast of Florida in a long time.
Absolutely.
My parents now live in Cape Coral, just south of Tampa. They say it's getting serious. Nothing yet. Hope all goes well.
I know Dakota.
You do?
We played baseball at Pea Ridge High School.
Very nice.
So I didn't know your parents moved down there, Dakota, but I'm gonna keep them in the thoughts and prayers.
Yeah,
it's going right towards it.
So in the meantime, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove this stream. I got to bring up weather WSI here. All right. So this is Mega Doppler. Now, Cape, and I don't know if it's.
I think it's Cape Coral.
Cape Coral.
I thought it was Cape Coral.
Or is it Cape Coral?
It's either or. You're probably right, to be honest.
I honestly thought it was Cape Coral. But you know who will really know? Dakota, let us know.
Yeah,
you will know. Is it Coral or Coral?
Yes.
I think it's personally Coral.
You're probably right.
Like coral in the ocean. But anyways, that's not even close to the center of the circulation. Mm-hmm. So if it's getting serious, the winds are picking up. That rain is heavy. It isn't nothing serious right now. But man, there were a lot of supercells today. Now there's currently still tornado warnings. Look at all the tornadoes that were reported.
We knew there was going to be two because we were looking at some of those cells coming up from the ocean. There's like a train of them.
So what I'll do is I'll leave. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this on full screen. Then we're going to add this to the stream, so you get to see that, and then we get to see the waves crashing at the southernmost point because this is. You can see how far west the center of the eye is. And they're getting somewhat of the eye wall, but they're getting the major storm surge. In fact, right now is about the worst of the storm surge. So we can bring this up full.
If you notice there too, the eye.
Oh, man. Yeah. Look at those waves. Those are like crashing and being like 15 feet up. I mean, that is a ways up there. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. The eye, if you're wondering which islands we're going over, that's the Dry Tortugas National Park.
Tortugas.
Yes.
Which, coincidentally, there was a storm chaser.
There was a storm chaser
chasing by a boat. I don't know about that.
We don't know about that. I'm assuming some geospoofing may have been afoot.
All right. So let's go here. You can let us know, Dakota. We'll see if we got some. Hey, Dunksy. Dansky. All right. I thought we were talking German there.
Hey, Dansky.
Hope you two are tip top. Is old going to bring us a sprinkle? Absolutely nothing. Just like in Spaceballs when he says, I am your brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, uncles, former roommate. And he's like, what does that make us? Absolutely nothing, which is about what you are to become. Anyways, have a family in Marco Island, too. I know a lot of people have family in Florida. And Florida is paradise. It's gorgeous until you have a hurricane coming.
Yep.
You know it's bad when Disney shuts down. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh, Waffle House. The Waffle Houses are closing too. And Waffle
Whew.
Houses never close.
Parental priorities. I felt this. Yeah. All right. You're welcome. Thank you. Florida man goes parasailing in hurricane. Yeah, no kidding. Goes sailing, literally.
Go
That
sailing
would
in
be,
hurricane with alligator
yeah, and sharks.
and sharks.
So Naples and Marco Island seem to be able to get that easterly flow, right? You're
Yeah,
right.
right.
Yep. We've got someone here that I know that texted me and says they got a house in Naples and it's about 300 feet from the ocean or 200 feet from the ocean.
Ooh.
That's going to be trouble.
That is trouble.
Yeah. My family is in Melbourne. Looks like it's headed for them. Yeah. Are you men hungry?
Always.
Yeah.
We're either hungry for food or hungry for educating
Baja
the public.
Blast.
Or Baja Blast. The Baja Blast bros.
The most high. The most high getting ready to crumble. Yeah, Reed Timmer is down there chasing a storm surge in around Naples and chasing tornadoes. I know we've been seeing that.
Surgeonator.
Oh no, we got 3 pizzas headed our way.
Uh-oh.
Kylie,
Uh-oh.
you don't have to. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, we
man.
got another pizza again.
Time to crush some pizzas. Hey, by the way, just to let everybody know, Dan has, and I have seen it before, he has ate a whole Pickleman's
Oh
pizza.
my goodness.
And it was like within 15 minutes too. It was just destroyed.
3 pizzas headed our way. Well, we can share the love with some people here.
Yes.
Thank you, Kylie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Orlando, Florida. We talked about that on Thursday morning. It's going to be moving in, waiting for it. Someone said right here, coral, not corral. All right. So there you go. I thought it was coral.
Wait. So is it coral or corral?
I don't know. Shit. I think coral is, that's how you spell coral.
You're probably right. Well,
Yeah,
but look up how to say. I don't know. I want to know.
Corral.
Yeah,
Corral.
you're
There
wrong.
you go.
You're wrong. So
Yeah,
it's coral.
I was assuming I was.
I have a family with a condo on the beach in Naples and a house in the backwater in Marco Island. Plain families down there. So
Yeah.
let's get back to the radar here, and we'll show you what we've got. So there's a look at Mega Doppler. We are in Fayetteville, Arkansas, if you're watching us. So, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll remove this. We'll bring up, there's a Mega Doppler right there.
Mhm.
It looks like you can't even see those waves crashing anymore. Let's see if we can still catch that on the webcam. Every now and then, I mean, obviously it's completely dark. I doubt there's power anymore, but yet the camera's still running. So
Yeah, camera's going strong.
imagine that. You goobers. Like, then the wave started crashing just there when I turned it off. Yeah, now you can see it. Look at that. We'll bring that up full. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That is like literally almost underwater. You've got about a quarter to halfway of it. Yeah, now you can really see those crashes. And the water sprays all the way to the camera.
That means it's high. It's very high.
Yeah. That camera's quite a ways away. So anyways,
I'm impressed that it's still going strong.
That's
right
pretty
now.
it's impressive.
It's not using a certain internet service. That will not be named.
That would have gone down in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's Dollar Slice. Oh man.
I just had some dollar slice and some garlic knots with mozzarella.
3 pizzas. That's amazing. Man.
Let's go.
Well, I guess we're on for the long haul. We're gonna keep some people safe here. Yeah. All right, let's go back to that track, and we'll take a look at the interactive track too on the weather website. So let's go back to here we go. Get off of that full screen. Go to Hurricane Ian. All right, so there's another one that they have. They have this interactive map, the storm surge inundation map. Have you ever seen this?
I've seen this map. Yes.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. So let's look. We're going to look at some detailed spots. So you tell us where you want us to look, and we will check it out for you. So let's start off with looking at this. So this is the storm surge inundation map, and we already heard of people at Cape Coral and Fort Myers And that is in the red,
12 feet plus.
or
Or
greater than 9 feet above ground. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
man.
All right, so
And-
let's go up and down here.
And
Let's
remember, we were looking at a Google Maps earlier.
see.
Like some of these like neighborhoods have like water just like running through them
Yeah.
in between it.
Well, they
Yeah.
do. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
these homes have boats right on
Yeah.
there. And I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
But there you go. Inundation with let's oops.
Oh.
Cancel that.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. It's like the package I got in the
Yeah,
mail.
exactly.
Today. That
I think it was like downloading something.
Sussville.
Yeah.
All right, here's the inundation layer. And
Oh man.
nah, that's not gonna be it.
Yeah, that's not.
That's not 9 feet everywhere.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's a look at what we've got with Naples. And so the outer islands greater than 9 feet above ground. And then there's Naples and Pelican Bay. And we continue northeast or north, Bonita Springs. Now you're going to see Fort Myers Beach. And what's wild is the storm surge, it fills up in these spots that you would never think when it really fills up. And the reason for that is you're squeezing water into a small space, and it's going to accelerate. And when it accelerates, it gets higher. It's almost like a flash flood.
Exactly.
And look at this.
Storm surge is the most deadly part of the hurricane.
Yeah. All right.
All
So
the deaths come from.
we're going to go back north. There's Charlotte, Punta Gorda. Oh, man. That's right where Charlie went.
Yep.
And that's where I think is going to happen. Now look at Tampa. Tampa is like, whoo, we dodged a bullet.
Because I was looking at this map earlier when it still had the track towards Tampa, and it had a pretty similar scenario to what's
Yeah.
going on to the south.
Now here's the question, though. Are we just seeing a jog and now it's going to start turning westward again? It's possible. It's always possible. Hopefully you were seeing all that. Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to WSI. So now you can see this eye wall replacement cycle and maybe not turning so much northeast anymore.
It looks like it's
it's
almost moving
wobbling.
north.
Yeah, it might be wobbling. So if we look and we take this and pan this northward, here's Tampa. I mean, it's got to go straight north the entire way in order for it to impact Tampa. Is it possible? Maybe, but I doubt it. Now, look at the lightning in the eye. This tells you that this storm is really cranking up.
And it was on the southwest part
Lot of
of the storm as
lightning.
well, which means that it's going through an eye wall replacement cycle.
Yeah, you can actually
Because
see
of-
the eye wall
yeah.
replacement cycle too. Back in earlier, there's the old eye. It doesn't loop long enough. However, what we can do is I can bring. Oh, I don't have Key West split. No, you're not going to get it looping long enough. But what I can show you is the infrared, and then we go back in time. Yeah, you won't see it as well, but there's a look at that eye wall replacement cycle that's ongoing. So yeah, definitely some stuff going on. All right, let's go here. Just got on. So how's Tampa looking? Well, we just talked about that. Tampa is not looking as bad. So this storm doesn't look to be impacting Tampa as much. Dan, has Ian regained the eye? Absolutely, it has. It's going through an eye wall replacement cycle. If we go back to this, you can see that eye starting to form again. It got a little bit sheared apart, but there is definitely a redevelopment of the eye, especially when you look at the high resolution infrared.
Yep.
Now, another thing too is when we look at Mega Doppler, you can see the eye, and you can also see it getting a little smaller in size. So that's the eye replaces, it builds, and then it shrinks back down, and then the outer eye forms when it goes through an outer
And the
eye
wind
wall
field.
replacement cycle.
The
And
wind
then
field expands.
That causes the wind field to expand. Yep, absolutely. All right, so let's go back to this. Let's go back to the track. A lot of people asking about the track and the official tropical track. So maybe a little bit of a northern jog at the very end. Let's show you here. Yep, there's that northern jog. See that?
Mhm.
We're zoomed way in. So it gives you an
Yeah.
idea.
Can't even see the little hurricane symbol anymore.
Yeah, I zoomed way in. Extreme close up.
Woo!
All right. So, anyways, so a northern jog, but still you can see how it's taking those jogs and it wobbles is really
It's
what
been
it's
wobbling
called.
for a while.
Wobble. Yeah, it's called a wobble. That's what a hurricane does.
But it's definitely moving a little more to the north, though, as of recently.
And there it is, Category 3. It's got pressure down to 953. This, by the way, was updated literally not too long ago. They just updated the recent one. So here's a look at the latest track. And you can see how that makes it a Category 4, the National Hurricane Center, and brings it into Fort Myers. So right here, right around 1, 2 o'clock. Now, one of the things that you need to remember with a landfall, and a lot of people don't realize this, they think it's just when the edge of the eye wall touches land. It is
No.
not the case.
No.
It has to be the center of the eye has to cross over land.
Mhm.
That is a landfall. So there are some times where a storm will remain off the coast.
Uh-huh.
Looks like it's making landfall because the eye wall is blasting the coast, but the
eye
center
never
of the
goes through.
circulation of the eye, the center of the eye doesn't cross over land.
Man, I bet that's terrifying if you're in that.
Ooh, that was
Yeah.
kind of like what Laura did a little bit.
Yeah,
And then until it finally came on.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the track. And let's go up and down and show you who's going to get the worst. So, Naples, Marco Island, all of that is going to be receiving storm surge. All of this on the south side of the eye and the center of the circulation, the center of the hurricane path is going to be receiving the worst of, like Fort Myers. That could
man.
be, this could be
on
a
the eastern side
direct
too.
hit. Yep.
That's the worst part to be.
Now, Port Charlotte might be a little bit on the western side. So, but still, you have to remember that the coast just doesn't run straight north to south, right? And your wind flow with this is going to be, northeast, right?
Mhm.
If you have the hurricane passing by, remember you have that counterclockwise flow. So if we draw on this, there's your counterclockwise flow. And so in some of these areas, if we zoom in, such as Punta Gorda, look at that, northeasterly flow is going to cause a tremendous
big time
storm
storms.
sage.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, as we move along, there's Orlando.
Probably going over as a tropical storm.
Yep. So we'll zoom in. We'll show you. There's Orlando. Maybe the center of the circulation just a little bit east of Orlando. Still, though, pretty nasty storm. And look at Tampa now. Tampa's almost not even in the cone of uncertainty anymore. But what if this just keeps going north and throws everybody off
no.
again?
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't either. Like Tampa's
well,
letting their guard down.
honestly,
and next thing you know, it gets blasted.
I hope it gets sheared apart more before it
Mhm.
makes landfall. That
Yeah.
would be the best case scenario because that means, it's still going to be impacts. There's impacts. They're coming, but maybe they won't be as bad.
How about this? Ian's been drinking.
It kind of does look like it has because it's like wobbling around.
Yeah,
there.
wobbling.
I'm going northeast. Now I'm going north.
If I had been born a boy, my first name would have been Ian. Yeah, there's a guy that Ian Oliver works for Fox Weather. He used to do tracking the tropics with JB. And anyways, all right. What about Orlando? My daughter lives there. Orlando will definitely be getting some winds, but the storm will weaken somewhat. So there still will be power outages. It'll still be not fun. What will tropical storm when it hits Melbourne? Yeah, I think it is going to be tropical storm. That's on the east side. Yeah, obviously. A lot of people knowing people in Florida, so yeah, we're just definitely going to be watching that. So what else? What else could we talk about? What do you think?
Tornadoes.
A lot of tornadoes.
A lot of
yeah.
tornadoes.
Have you ever wondered why hurricanes produce tornadoes? I know you do because we talked about it.
I know now.
I was giving them the study today. Let me know if you guys want to know. We can really geek out and just go crazy. Family in Cape Coral boarded both houses up and locked down. They're evacuated to Fort Lauderdale. So Fort Lauderdale's better. At the same time, though, did you see what happened in Fort Lauderdale? Check this out.
Yeah.
There
A
were
lot of tornadoes.
A lot of tornadoes from isolated supercells.
3 of them, in fact.
And this was a bad one, too. Public report tornado witness on the ground with subsequent damage also witnessed. Here's the one that was radar tornado debris signature, confirms tornado. We saw that. Radar tornado debris signature. Again, look at the wind damage, tree damage. You had social media picture of overturned general aviation aircraft. And you have patio torn off a home south of Taft and University. Down trees. Large tree down in the Publix Plaza. There's Publix all over the place. Which, by the way, that is an expensive grocery store. You think Harps has expensive prices? Publix, man.
Now, I'll tell you this.
Club you over the head and take your wallet.
I'll tell you this. Those storms, though, they had big time supercell characteristics to them. I mean, they look like some of the storms you would see here in Northwest Arkansas.
I got to show you. I wish I had the high resolution data loaded up. But you know what? We can look at kind of like a composite radar, and you can see all the supercells. This is crazy.
Look at this.
Let's go back in time here. And these are all in the outer bands. A lot of people think, oh, the hurricane is just where the center of the circulation is and the center of the eye. But you know what? There's other stuff that's bad, including, well, last night, 7 Mile Bridge just to the east of Key West had a tornado. In fact, there it is right there. Oh, yeah, that was a beautiful one, too. It's very close to Marathon. Look at all those isolated cells moving northwest.
And you can see the hooks on them.
Yeah, and then watch this. Look at all these storms right here. And then
here comes a wave of supercells.
Here comes a wave of supercells. Here comes all the tornado warnings. Look at that.
Look at it. There's 2, and there was a big tornado in the Everglades. That was
that one right there.
Yeah.
Look at the hook. You saw a picture?
Yeah, I saw a picture of it. Somebody had a picture of the tornado in the Everglades.
Was it substantial? Was it wide?
It was pretty big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, see it? There's the observed tornado tag.
Yep. The black.
It was pretty big.
Look at that.
And
more tornado warnings.
PDS tornado warning.
Yep. I've got that one coming up right here with this supercell. Bam.
Boom.
Now it turns white here. There it is. Now white, if you don't remember, white is considerable. So we'll bring this up and show you with the polygon outline. So we go to watch warnings labels. You'll see it here in just a second pop up and populate. And there it is, considerable threat, meaning it's doing quite a bit of damage. And 734 is that tornado warning. Well, that was the very end of it. But yeah, considerable, doing damage. Really impressive storm.
And look
Other
at this, more
supercells.
supercells.
Yeah, there's the tornado watch
Look
until
at
5 a.m.
Jeez.
I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they started to die out, obviously, with the loss of daytime heating.
I'll tell you
Not as much, but there's still another row of supercells just poised to come in. And what people don't realize, these hurricanes are so big. They're just huge.
I'll tell you, though, I mean, I was kind of halfway joking and stuff like that, but there was so many tornado warnings. It seemed like there was more tornado warnings with this tropical system than there were in Oklahoma all year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only been 42 confirmed tornadoes in Oklahoma this entire year, which is crazy.
Here's a great question, something that we didn't cover yet, Cheryl. Yeah. This is a great
That's probably
question.
the main storyline, to be honest.
And it really is. So let's look at the precipitation from this storm over the next 7 days.
It's a lot.
And
to say the least.
It's a lot. Yeah.
15
Now, I don't think this is right, though.
Nope.
Because they're taking this track towards Tampa, and they don't update it as fast and as often as the National Hurricane Center. Mm-hmm. But regardless, that's still a lot of rain. We're talking
15 to 20.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the 15 to 20 range.
Yeah. Unreal. And it's because there's going to be a slowdown with this hurricane as it moves over the land.
Possibly. It's moving pretty quick now.
Yeah, it is moving quick now. Yeah. I still think it will slow down at least a little bit.
All right, here's a question. Have a family new to Titusville. What can they expect? And possible time. All right. Well, let's check it out. So we're going to look at, first of all, on Mega Doppler. And, there's a few spots that I don't know exactly where it is, but I have an idea. They all kind of look the same. And Titusville is very close to Cape Canaveral. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way northward just to give you an idea where it is. And so there's a look at Fort Pierce, Palm Bay. There's Cocoa Beach coming up. Beautiful area, by the way. And then there's Cape Canaveral, which, by the way, they ain't, Titusville. They weren't launching the rocket today. They backed that sucker back up into the hangar. But
good idea.
So Titusville is a little just to the east of Orlando. So let's go back and we'll look at the track and give you an idea on when that circulation might be headed towards Titusville. I think it's going to be Thursday afternoon, personally, that gets starting to get the worst impact. So
I agree.
So let's look at that and we'll take it through Orlando. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over just a smidge. And we'll go right there. And yeah, the center of circulation may be going right over Titusville. Now, tropical storms still have winds up to 73 miles an hour. So there you go. It looks like early afternoon. So late morning into the afternoon looks to be that time. That's zoomed
There it is.
way in, by the way.
Yeah.
But it gives you an idea that tropical storm status at the time and west of Titusville.
Still pretty big time winds though. And a lot of rain.
Yep. A lot of rain. All right. We got some other comments. I'm going to bring up a graphic here that I haven't shown yet. It's kind of like the wind radii. So go ahead and answer some of these questions, Josh, and I am going to bring up this graphic real fast.
Would a tropical storm be able to maintain its intensity up into Fayetteville, Arkansas?
No.
Or are we too far north?
Well, yes, but not with this. This is not going to happen.
That's
but, but Ike and Rita and
Gustav.
Gustav, both of those, or all three of those, had some very close to tropical storm status.
Yes, at least in terms of wind gusts.
Yeah.
I remember in Hot Springs with Gustav, we had 50, 55 mile an hour wind gusts. And it was
crazy.
I was thinking, well, this is just a low end tropical storm. What would happen if this was like a Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3? I was going up the list. Jakota said parents live in Cape Coral now. How bad is that looking?
Yeah, we talked
about that.
Yep.
It's looking pretty rough, to say the least.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find any more questions here. Already answered that. South Naples, bad. Similar to Cape Coral. Let's see. I think we've answered all the questions that I've seen so far, Dan.
Yeah.
You've been
All
ripping it up. Reed Timmer is down there chasing the storm surge in and around Naples area and chasing tornadoes. The Surgeonator is what he's placing right now down there. So we'll get to see some of that information there. That's pretty useful stuff, by the way. I don't know if you saw it.
I did when he taped it to a pole.
Yeah.
And it survived.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got a cool graphic. Bring it up here on WSI.
How about Leesburg?
We can step through.
Leesburg? Let me look at Leesburg up real quick. That. Leesburg, Florida. Okay.
It's kind of more inland.
And
it is on the northwest side of Orlando. So it's kind of ways. Still going to be some trees knocked down, power outages, power lines, stuff like that.
Tropical storm impacts, but inland tropical storm impacts, so no storm surge or any of this.
So here's kind of a cool graphic. We don't really show this. I'd love to show all my graphics on weather, but I barely have any time to get through it. At least the weather's quiet around here.
Yes.
But here's a look at the wind radii, and I'm going to kind of step through this and show you that by tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. in a few hours, Fort Myers, Naples, going to start experiencing tropical storm and strong tropical storm force winds. So greater than 50, 55 mile an hour winds.
already.
Now, as you'll see here, Naples starts getting the impact of the storm by about 7 a.m. So they're already having 70-mile-an-hour winds. Marco Island getting close to that. Then we move along, Naples kind of getting the impact of it. Now, what's interesting is it doesn't look like it's going to be taking the brunt of the winds, but you got to remember the storm surge is going to be the worst.
And it's on the
eastern side.
Yep.
And then you can see Fort Myers right in the center of the circulation,
Wow.
Port Charlotte. Now, obviously, over time, this is going to shrink down, and it will. There it is as it encounters land. So it starts shrinking down. But at this point, there's still a little small bullseye of hurricane force winds.
Just to the south of Orlando.
Yep. And then it kind of disappears. So I know there's some extrapolation that's going on,
but still strong tropical storm force winds
with tornado
with
warnings,
tornado potential
on the eastern core of that storm. And then, so by Friday, it starts to move out. So definitely some issues there. Kind of a cool graphic to give you an idea on where the impacts are going to be the worst.
And that's the thing too, because like we said before, that's the important note, is that even though the eye's not moving over land, there's already going to be impacts way out ahead of it, way out ahead of the eye is what I mean.
Yeah, way
So,
out ahead of the circulation.
and that's
in the
why
center of it.
that's why you evacuate early, because if you don't, you're going to encounter all those winds, and it's going to be very hard to get out of there.
All right. Has the NWS Tulsa issued tropical storm warnings? Yes, they have. In
Yeah.
fact, with Aaron. Aaron was a crazy storm that, because of the heavy water and the flooding, it actually acted like ocean content. It fueled the storm. You got
over land.
You got to see this. Yeah.
Wow.
Tropical storm Aaron. It actually re-strengthened and gained tropical strength over Oklahoma, which tracked across northeast Oklahoma.
Now, how rare is that?
It's like
impossibly rare.
it's unbelievably rare.
Like improbably rare.
Tropical storm Aaron.
So it hit land as a tropical storm. It wasn't even a hurricane.
Yeah.
It hit land. And it just maintained its intensity, basically.
Aaron, Oklahoma, 95. I think this is the one that went over land, re-strengthened, and it made it as a Category 2 hurricane. But now there's that track. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure this made it through Oklahoma. I think this is the one, 95. Sounds like it's kind of early. Let's see here. There's another time too that Aaron went over. I gotta look this up because now it's
2007.
2007. That sounds more like it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. So yeah, it strengthened back into a tropical storm. Here's what it has in the description. It was really wild. Oklahoma. After its unexpected redevelopment over Oklahoma, widespread damage was also reported there. The weather forced cancellation of the hydro fair. Winds in Watonga gusted as high as 82 miles an hour. And then one person drowned. I remember that, unfortunately, automobile accident. And so literally the thing redeveloped.
What the heck?
It was crazy. I wish there was
Wow.
Wow. Look at that. I'm
What
telling
in
you.
the
Yeah, I got to
world?
show you this. This is crazy.
What?
We're kind of getting off the deep end.
And that's over Oklahoma, man. You can even see with the eye.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a legit
Jeez.
tropical storm. I'm going to throw that into this. There we go. So I think I can
It
bring
makes
this
it even
back
more
up.
crazy to me though that it made landfall as a tropical storm, right? You would expect like, a tropical storm that was going to hit an area like Northwest Arkansas or Oklahoma
Yeah.
to come in as like a strong Cat 3, Cat 4.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's Aaron. So Aaron literally developed over Oklahoma. And we can actually look at this. I can bring up the satellite. I can bring up the radar. So this was August 19th, 2007. I knew it was when I was working here because 95 there was Aaron too, and I was right. I was right on the name. So check this out. I'm going to do the image archive here. What was it again? August. I know. August 17th. Is that right?
That's correct.
2007. All right, let's see here. Let's go to radar composites. I don't know if you're seeing this. Hopefully you are. Oh, yeah.
This thing's just a weak little thing.
Yeah, but then it curves northeast. Okay, so I'm going to have to go.
Plus
I'm going to have
a
to
day.
go plus 2
2
days and then go 240 and then go South Plains. There we go. Let's load this baby up.
There
Let's
we
see
go.
if you're seeing this. Nope,
What
you're
the
not.
heck?
Yeah, it does that. It's annoying. I got to remove it.
Trash.
I got to add to the stream. It doesn't like when I make windows by itself. So if I click on it, now you should be able to see it. Let's go back here. It's annoying.
Trash.
All right. So here is, and it's not looping. There we go. Now it's looping.
What the heck?
Yeah, it even had an eye.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
that is the craziest thing. So there it is coming ashore. Then it starts curving due to the westerlies. And then there's the center of the eye. And then it comes over Oklahoma. There's so much rain here. Look at that. Explodes.
What the
Latent
heck?
heat release. There's the eye. And then it curved northeast.
What in the world, man?
Weird, huh?
That is so weird.
I know.
It just proves, right? When you think you've seen it all in meteorology,
The weather can do other
Yes,
stuff.
Exactly.
And look at all the storms too out ahead of it. There
I
was
bet
some
you those
serious
produced some
storms.
tornadoes.
There's some serious storms.
Bet you those had tornado warnings.
Well, let's check it out here. This will freak out again. So because it freaks out, I'm going to take this and remove this real quick. Yeah, they do. They have watches. You can get all that stuff, Jacob, but it's going to take a while to bring it up. But let me go to storm reports, August 17th, 08, 17, 07, and then we go 08, 17. Is that right?
That's right.
There we go.
Aha.
There we go.
There was some tornado reports
Yeah.
and high wind reports. 3
And-
tornadoes.
And nothing here. Minor tree damage. But that was from Aaron.
Crazy. That is insane.
Bring that up here. There we go. Add to stream. So there's the tornado warning reports, or the tornadoes, and then also the wind damage. And by the way, that is high winds, 65 mile an hour. So we scroll down here. There's not many reports, so you can see them. 82 Watonga, 80. That's some crazy winds. 70 mile an hour winds.
That from a tropical storm. See, that would never happen nowadays with Colby around.
Quick question for Kylie. How are we going to get this pizza?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm wondering about that. Okay. We'll remove this. All right. So at least the weather's quiet around here. Oh, no. That's right. Probably did jinx it, but not jinxing it this week.
I mean, we kind of need the rain, though, so maybe it's a good jinx.
What about Bradenton? What about Bradenton?
Let's look her up here.
And, I don't know. Should I know all these places?
I don't know.
Bradenton is south of Tampa, so not as bad, but a little bit farther south of Tampa. Really, honestly, is not going to get much of a storm surge because unless the track is much farther north,
Yes.
Bradenton doesn't look to be impacted. I'm going to drag this out.
That's significantly.
My own window. There we go.
Yeah, nice and big now.
Man, shrinking it back down. All right, so that's the answer there.
Classic brown ocean effect.
Mm-hmm. Shocked there hasn't been a hurricane named Colby.
Well,
Shocked.
See, that's the thing, though.
No, she's not shocked.
She's
That's
not
why
shocked.
she's going.
But here's the
with
thing,
tongue
though.
out.
If there was a Colby, right, it would never become a hurricane. At most, a low wind tropical storm, and then it would die off
Yeah.
very quickly.
Do you think it'll be okay to go to Orlando around Monday time frame? I think there'll be still a lot of damage. I think there's going to be a lot of damage, but
I wouldn't go down to Orlando over the next week or so.
yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a mess.
I bet you all like rides will be closed at all the parks and other things will be getting
Maybe
cleaned up.
Monday though. Maybe Monday of next week. Maybe everybody will be gone, and maybe that's a great time to go to Disney.
True.
Be awesome. I think we nearly missed on tropical storm warnings, and Aaron kind of weakened pretty quickly, as you saw when it got to Arkansas. Of course,
Very, very quick.
isn't a 70-mile-an-hour wind that can lift a grown man off the ground? Maybe not when we eat all this pizza that's coming. Out. I don't know.
Yeah. We're going to be a little more than a grown man.
How do you want it once they get in there? I don't know. We'll just bring it home, I guess. Dan,
take
don't
each
make
take
us
a pizza.
hungry at midnight.
Yeah.
Talking about food, I know.
I actually, here's the thing. So we each take a pizza home, and then you get the other one. You just eat it, like just
Live
Live.
on Facebook
on
Live.
Facebook Live.
That's all right. I'm getting my knee operated on Thursday, so I'll just be a bum.
Crush it.
Kissimmee. We know
Okay.
Kissimmee. I know where that is for sure. That's south of Orlando. That's one I do know. That's going to be kind of right in the heart of this thing. So
Big time
Kissimmee
impacts.
is going to be definitely impacted. Let's go back here. And there you see Kissimmee, which is just south of Orlando. And you already saw the track is going to be kind of right through here. So I could bring up that track again real quick. That was really sweet.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kylie.
She's done that
Yeah.
before. That was really
So,
nice.
she's
She's the resident pizza lady.
the pizza.
But, yeah, but really helping us out.
Pizza
That was
lady.
pretty awesome. All right,
Pretty
so
clutch.
let's zoom in here.
Making a pizza eating race on live.
I'd crush you.
It would be no contest. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. Dan is the ultimate eater.
I don't know. I mean,
Uh,
Joey Chestnut's the ultimate eater.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should get Joey versus Dan.
Oh my goodness. So, anyways, does not like when, you know what? It'd be best to just not have edit points in there and just do this on its own. All right. So here you go. We'll zoom in. Sometimes it's just not.
Just not the cards.
So there's everything. And now it's not gonna it is gonna bounce around. There's Kissimmee. Yeah, watch it bounce.
Oh wait, here, let me move this out of the way. Now do it again because it was in the way there.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go zooming in on this.
Whoa.
Whoa. Extreme close up. All right. So there we go. So Thursday morning, kind of right very close to that. But what's weird about tropical systems is that, well, it's not weird, but it shows you that east of the circulation, you have much worse conditions. West of it, not as much rain. The rain isn't quite as heavy. The tornado potential is non-existent, all that stuff.
So we stop making.
Go get your pizza lobby. How do we know it's in the lobby?
Yeah.
Maybe she just. Oh, guys, they're outside of the entrance. There you go. All right.
Whoa.
Well, do you want to go out there
I'll
and
go
get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Bring it in.
Um,
I don't know if you covered already, but is there a chance for it to turn into a Cat 4? Yeah, I do think that's going to happen. I think it's a chance. I don't know if it's set in stone if that's for sure going to happen. So if we go back to this, you can see the eye wall replacement cycle that's ongoing. It looks like it's definitely wobbling and it's starting to increase the thunderstorm activity. However, we're still a little a ways from Category 4 status, and the pressure is rising. I know, I saw it. I saw her comment. Thank you, Luke. Midnight pizza. I had a big dinner, too. Oh, look at this. Here's another thing, too. Look at the dry air. Ooh, that's not good in terms of not strengthening it for a category, but it's great for people. But if you're forecasting Category 4, which, who wants that? There's a look at some dry air that's being entrained. So that could wrap around the center of circulation and really weaken this thing. I saw a projection of 50 plus inches. What do you got? I think 50 is way too much. That would be a biblical proportion flood if we literally had 50 inches. That seems a little much. I think around 12 to 14 inches across parts of the coast. So
No pizzas.
no pizzas.
No pizzas
That
out
was
there.
a lie. Maybe
Pizzas
the
are-
lobby was. Where did you go for the lobby?
Well, first thing I did was I went out there and I looked at the break room real quick just to make sure. Then I looked.
Parking lot.
Yeah. Then I
Uh-huh.
went straight out to the parking lot.
Did you
and-
go down to the first floor?
I'm gonna go down.
All right.
Let's see.
Well, hi Trent. Yeah, I think 50 inches is way too much rain, but I can show you what the national the Weather Prediction Center is going with NOAA. And so if we look at this is the estimated rainfall. So you can see 10 to 20, but yeah, that's a little much. Rain bomb. Yeah, we might. Yeah, we'll call Dollar Slice. That was really nice, though. Appreciate that. All right. Any other questions at all? While we're continuing to track Ian. There's some dry air that's coming in that might tend to weaken Ian a little bit. Eye wall replacement cycle is widening the hurricane wind field, and it's still a nasty storm, though. And woo, oh my goodness. Well, I take that back about the weakening because one of the things that you don't like to see is a bunch of lightning around the eye wall, and that has a bunch of lightning. So we covered the surge, and in fact covered the surge in detail, David. But to kind of reiterate what's going to happen, that's not the storm surge. We are looking at a pretty substantial storm surge, 8 to 12 feet potentially. Oh, hello from Limestone Valley. All right, so let me show you that back again here. So we're going to add this to the stream. We're back on this. I'm going to go to Hurricane Ian. This is the storm surge map, but a little bit more of a too detailed map. So we'll look at the peak surge. There you go. And well, I guess you can't click on that. There's a look at 8 to 12. That's the worst. Experimental. You still have a storm surge 2 on the east coast of the United States. 1 to 3 feet for Cape Canaveral area. And the lower Keys, I mean, you saw what 3 to 5 feet did with the southernmost point webcam. If you missed this is some pretty good TV right here. So let me see if you can see that. Yep, you can. All right, so let me get that comment off the screen. Got to see that storm surge, but that is already the surge. That's 3 to 5 feet. What is a potential threat to Arkansas in the next few days ahead? Nothing. Absolutely zero. Not a single threat at all in terms of weather. So we are quiet. Guess that's a big thing. Yep. Oh, hello from Cape Coral. And we have a lot of people in Cape Coral. They're definitely going to have to watch this storm because it's coming. It's coming your way. By tomorrow afternoon, it's really going to be going downhill fast. And currently, 2 tornado warnings. Let's check these out. Can you see that, though? I mean, it might be kind of hard on your screen, but there's the southernmost point thing. And you can see the waves crashing over. So it'd be dangerous to be there. What are the chances of it stalling as it lands? So I don't necessarily buy a complete stalling. I do think it slows down somewhat, but I don't think it completely stalls out. So, and I'll show you my reasoning here. There's a lot of shear that this hurricane is encountering. As we get back to the graphics. Oh, there it is.
Pizza time.
Holy cow.
Look at these things.
These things are huge.
These things are giant.
And garlic knots?
I think just Parmesan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. I was about to say.
Oh, about
And
it.
garlic knots.
Oh my goodness. We got it.
The pizza has arrived.
We have got it, Kylie. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You are clutch, Kylie.
Let's see what it
Yes.
is. Let's see what we got. Hopefully a barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken alert. Legit. Okay. Pepperoni.
Okay.
Pizza.
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
Alrighty.
Are there 3 pepperonis? You can't go wrong.
You
with
can't go pepperoni, man. It's my favorite.
Pepperoni. 3 pepperonis. All right.
Trio. Man, those slices are huge too.
Evac that us. Yep. No guys, all pep. That's okay. That's cool.
Yes.
That's cool. But
Yes.
beggars can't be choosers. Oh,
Yes.
we got a confirmed tornado.
Another confirmed tornado.
This is at night in the middle of the dark and Coral Springs, west of Coral Springs. Now, here's something interesting about tropical systems. Number one is these supercells are basically very low. They're low top supercells because you have a very warm atmosphere with hurricanes. And I'll show you the radar in just a bit, but this is why someone was asking if there's any chance of essentially this going farther west and stalling out.
Low.
Yeah, I don't think it
low.
stalls out completely.
Yeah.
I think it slows
I think
down.
it slows down.
But look at the shear, though. You can see the trough right here, trough of low pressure swinging in. You can also see some dry air starting to be entrained.
Yes, which is weakening it somewhat.
Oh, no. Don't
No,
be sorry,
no, sorry.
Kylie.
No sorry.
No, sorry.
No.
No, sorry. That's
No.
like 3 pepperoni pizzas, man. It's amazing.
We are forever grateful.
And I'm going to eat one here in just a bit. But
The whole
let's
thing.
get to let's get to this. So we got 2 storms that just don't look all that tornadic. However, we're going to switch radars.
Yeah, let's get that on the
because we're looking at the different radar. And so this is going to pop up the information here real soon. And now you get to see they're so
supercell
interesting.
characteristics.
So back in 2020, May 25th, Memorial
I
Day,
remember this because I chased this. and
there
saw
was a
this tornado.
storm that was literally moving northwest in Arkansas, and it moved west of Siloam Springs in eastern Oklahoma. Was a beautiful structure too.
Yes.
Great supercell, but it was moving northwest, and it's because of a tropical low. So
And that little to no lightning as well.
Yeah.
With that storm, like none. I'm usually like terrified of lightning. I could stay out. Like I was chasing that storm, and I could stay out there and not worried at all. Another thing too with that storm that was interesting when I was standing out there chasing.
okay,
it,
we got to bring you up full here.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
up?
Another interesting thing when I was chasing it, it was almost like there was like rain squalls that came in occasionally, right? So I'd step out of the car, right, and it'd be completely dry outside, right? Then all of a sudden I would just see this wall of rain come at me, go over my car, go over me, and then it would stop, and then
Yeah.
it would like just rotate like that.
Yeah.
It was wild. I've never seen anything like it on a chase before, but it was great. And I saw the tornado too. It produced a brief tornado right near what's it called?
West Siloam Springs.
West Siloam Springs.
West
Yeah.
Siloam Springs.
Or
yep.
yes, but you
All right, back to
Watts.
Oh,
Yeah,
Watts, Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So
Yeah.
real cool. Ooh. Look at that. That is a
That's
strong
strong
circulation.
rotation. Yes.
So let's see if there's any debris. That is.
Oh yeah,
Yep, that is.
definite tornado. Pretty
There's
big too.
Wow, that is. They're little.
Would you consider this an outbreak?
Oh,
This guy's
absolutely.
easily an
100%. This is an
Yeah.
outbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that circulation. Now, that's probably confirmed way before that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put up, you ready for this? We're going to really geek out. We're putting up a 4-panel. So the 4-panel allows us to see the reflectivity on the top left, the velocity image, storm relative velocity on the top right. Set storm motion for morning. There we go. We've got CC, correlation coefficient, and then finally the normalized rotation. Because there's so much information on the screen, we're going to take our camera off. We're going to zoom in on this. There's the rotation. There's the rain moving away from the radar towards the radar located in Miami. And there's that supercell. It doesn't look like much, right, on the reflectivity, but man, you look at the velocity and that thing is cranking. So over time, that's pretty impressive. And then there it touches down. and starts to create some debris. Now, what did that hit? When it zoom in, pretty much just Everglades. Thankfully, not very populated. That is
Yeah.
a pretty low population area. And
That's
then
good.
we'll move forward along in time. That debris starts spreading out. We got other storms that are rotating, and then they had the confirmed. Now, I don't know if it's confirmed still. It might still be, but there's the circulation right there. All right, so let's go back to this one. All right, I'm going to show you too why the tornado potential is great. So let's do this. We're going to really. Someone's like, "Man, I love it when you geek out." All right, well, we'll geek out here. So
Yes.
first of all, we're going to bring up Mega Doppler. Oh, you know what? I can't draw on it because it's not.
Dadgummit.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to draw on it. Let's see. Yeah, I
Hey.
can. All right, cool. So here's what we'll do. I'm gonna draw some big white arrows just to let you know. All right, and then we'll go with this. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so first of all, the winds are coming from the east, and then they're going northeast aloft. So you obviously have some wind shear that's creating a horizontal spin, kind of like this. All right, so it's on the ground, and the horizontal spin is oriented that way. You're not seeing this at all. Now you are.
There we go.
There you are. My bad. So, anyways, there's the winds, and let's bring up the wind speeds, and we'll look at the METAR stations. And so there you get to see a southeasterly wind. So, you see how those winds are southeast right there? So we got I'm going to shrink down that arrow a little bit more. So we got a southeasterly wind. There's your flow at the surface. Above that, you got a little bit more of an east northeasterly wind because of the hurricane. And what that's creating is wind shear. And so with that wind shear, you've got essentially a counterclockwise spin rotation tube that's doing this, right? Well, when the storm rolls over that rotation tube, it pulls it up into the vertical and it creates a tornado. Now I'm going to show you something here. This is a very technical graphic, but it gives you a really good idea of when that vorticity is perfectly streamwise. Can I not load it up? There we go. So there's that horizontal tube, but instead of it going from southwest to northeast, that tube is actually like this way. So imagine the storm. This is looking northwest. Well, that storm is going to follow that horizontal vortex tube. Now, this is a northeasterly storm motion, which is typical what you have
What you see
tornado
here.
potential. But there is that rotation that's getting pulled up into the vertical, and therefore that's why it tornadoes. And then what happens is you get an increase in the updraft strength. That increase in the updraft strength causes what's called tilting and stretching. It's one of the terms in the 3D equation of motion. That causes the rotation to spin faster, just like figure skaters when they pull their arms in. They spin faster because of conservation of angular momentum. And then that essentially is what creates the tornado. So going back to our radar image, which won't have all the drawings on there anymore. But here's another cell that's starting to pop up. Oh, that's going to tornado.
That's a nasty storm.
That's going to tornado pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's just starting. Well, the wind shear is perfect with the northwest moving storm motion. You can actually show this on a photograph too. That's a question that I don't know. How does this affect the hummingbird migration?
I think
to
I
the
have
south?
somebody who would know this though.
You do?
I know somebody who knows a lot about wildlife biology.
All right, here's a good question. Does waterspouts come on land? Yes, 100% they do. And when they come on land, they're known as tornadoes. But there's also a thing called a true waterspout that forms from a cumulus cloud, a cumulus congestus cloud. And then there's a supercell tornado, which is really a tornado over water. It's got different character. Even though they call tornado, all tornadoes over water are called waterspouts. There are different characteristics to a true waterspout and a tornado over water.
Yes.
That's I don't know.
And
I don't know if you knew that or not.
and I did actually know that, and I have a question for you about that. Would these storms that were forming over the water that were no doubt producing tornadoes, would those be considered supercell rather than true?
Say that again.
With the storms that we saw earlier today, right?
Yeah.
Those cells that were forming over the water and moving
Yeah.
into land, no doubt producing tornadoes. 'cause
Those
we
are
saw the
those are
rotations.
100%
100%
supercells.
supercell.
100%
Yep.
supercells. Those are not just
True.
water spouts.
They're
Where you
not
get
true.
just a little bit of a you get a little
Mhm.
bit of a wind shift that
Mhm.
creates, the warm ocean temperatures,
Uh-huh.
and then you get condensation, and that creates the water spout. You get a dark concentric ring that's starting to form the funnel. You got the winds that are spinning in towards the center because of a localized low pressure system. Now, this was from actual rotating thunderstorm updrafts
Yes.
producing these tornadoes.
Yes.
How is the storm going to affect flights northwest Arkansas? Nothing.
Nothing.
Not at all.
Now, maybe he was, or maybe she was asking in terms of maybe flights going from Florida to Arkansas or vice versa.
Yeah, flights into northwest Arkansas
Are
getting out of Florida, especially central and eastern
It's
Florida,
not
is going to
happening.
be troubles.
It's not happening. In fact, I think a lot of areas are closed.
Can't cancel the
Yeah.
flights already.
Mm-hmm.
That triangle looks a lot like pizza.
Pizza time.
I think it's time to dig into a slice.
Oh, before that.
What you doing?
Napkins.
That's all right.
Digging in.
in.
Now, here's a question for the viewers. How many slices of pizza does Dan eat before I get done with this one slice? Take your bets. We'll start the over-under at 1.5.
Probably not many
Yeah.
because I have to talk while I'm eating. Now I don't want to chew with my mouth full.
Over-under is 1.5. Seems like a pretty
I'm
fair
going
set.
for the 2. We got 58 people watching us eat pizza.
Hey.
2. Bobby
2.
Brown's going for 2. Joey Chestnut.
That would just-
Eat your heart out.
that man is a
Man.
beast.
This is good. Midnight pizza. This is really hitting the spot.
Hit the spot.
Josh, welcome to the late night pizza party.
Join the club.
Can I post an emoji? I don't think I can.
Oh, well.
You know what? I can do this.
Oh, yeah.
What
Cookies.
was that? Yeah, what was that? Cookies. Now we can get cookies too.
Pickleman's cookies. Woo.
Oh yeah,
things
those are good. Pizza is good.
Hey, Hog Tunes. You're awesome. I love Hog Tunes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen some of his Hog Tunes?
I have not,
They're
no.
great. Pizza time.
I was looking up that emoji, so this is not confirmed anymore. Which, by the way, reminds me, we have a project that we have to do. We've got to get GR2 Analyst version 3
Yes.
up and running.
And it's the time to do it now.
Yeah,
As
when it's quiet.
fall severe weather season is coming.
We got plenty of fuel here. All right. In the meantime, let's all look at the while we're here. I'm sure you don't want to see us eat pizza. You'll hear it though. But anyways, there's a high resolution satellite imagery, still kind of a wobbly asymmetric eye. But however, it's really hard to do a Facebook Live while you're eating. That's one of my wife's pet peeves too, is when she calls me and I'm eating.
There's like, hey, honey.
What are you eating?
Uh,
Right. All right, I'm letting you go.
Food.
Okay. Guys, how does Fort Lauderdale look? Well, Fort Lauderdale is getting, rain and thunderstorms and Potentially some tornado activity. Right now, all the supercells are to the west of Fort Lauderdale. However, there are some other cells that are lifting northward. Right now, everything's kind of quiet, but at times these supercells pop up and move in. So let me show you this. They're still under the tornado watch till 5 a.m. And there's Fort Lauderdale. I'm taking the under, by the way, because I can't eat it fast.
Sorry, sorry, overbetters. Vegas knows.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, how'd they guess 2 points for A&M?
Because they knew that the upright was just a little bit taller in an NFL stadium. Yeah.
Listen to this. He's got a good stat for you.
Yeah. So apparently, if that kick was at Razorback Stadium or College Station, it would not have hit the upright. This is due to the fact that the game was played in an NFL stadium. And the uprights are actually taller for NFL stadiums. So where the ball hit actually would never have happened if this game was played in a normal college station. Therefore, at that point, it would have been up really to the ref's discretion if it was good or not. To be honest, watching the replay and the refs looking up, they were probably seeing if it was going to hit the upright or not. If it didn't hit the upright, the kick would have been good, and Arkansas would have won. And it's just classic Arkansas versus A&M. Arkansas by far the better team, and still lose. Unreal.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty. Just
Not
makes me more upset.
not cool.
Yeah, it makes me more upset.
But a really
Cool.
interesting fact.
Yes.
Look at this tornado. This thing's starting to ramp up, tighten up, getting stronger, normalize rotation. But this is over the Everglades, man. This is like,
Thankfully.
it's really kind of wild how there's really not a whole lot of population in the central Florida area. Can you imagine chasing? You'd have to chase in like one of those floating, what are those, fan boats?
Yeah, the fan boat. Storm chase mode activated.
Uh-oh. I'm eating the second piece.
Uh-oh.
And he's not done yet. You catch it. Oh, he just finished it.
Yeah. No, sir.
We still have 50 people on here.
Hey, man.
Let's give you a different view. Here it is again. Awesome webcam.
Yes. Yeah, lots of wildlife in that area.
I wonder if it's going to be raining alligators when the tornado
Oh.
comes.
Yeah,
that would be
raining gators.
that would
Yeah.
be pretty rough.
Raining gators and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Man, that is good.
Dollar Slice Club is pretty dang good, man.
Mhm.
Pretty
It is.
dang good. Delish.
Mm.
And more people are joining now. I think the pizza boosted numbers right now.
All right, guys. Raining gators.
Pythons. Oh yeah.
Raining pythons. Oh, man.
Mosquitoes. Gatornado. Not Sharknado. Gatornado.
Was this Bobby says, met someone that says all winnings are in the bag ahead of the game due to what's going on. Not sure I agree. Kind of interesting. It makes you wonder. Now they actually have proof that some teams did throw the games, but I don't think Arkansas wanted to give up that trophy.
I know they didn't, and Sam Pittman's not that kind of guy.
Nah.
But
I mean, you say, I'm going to kick it off the top of the upright.
yeah, exactly.
That's a
Aim
one
right
in-
there.
one in a
Cam, can you
million.
aim right there? Here's what the thing is though. It wouldn't have mattered if Arkansas didn't fumble the ball in that one play. Because if that ball was at the 15-yard line, the kick would have been good. That 10 yards extra made the difference.
I think another thing, too, and I was bringing this up with you,
Mm-hmm.
when KJ ran that play before we kicked the field goal, he was on the far left hash.
Yes, and that's the hardest spot.
That's a
Kick.
hard spot to kick
Yeah.
because you want to hit it, but you got to push it a little bit in order to line up with the goal. So
Yep.
sometimes they overcompensate,
Yep.
which is exactly what happened, like a putt. You
Yep.
push a putt, you miss it whole high.
Yep.
This
It's like chipping.
will be awesome. The Hogs are going to take down Bama. Texas will become a thing of the past when we do. I mean, if Texas can play close with Arkansas, come on, man, we can do this. It'll help that
Texas,
it's in
Alabama,
Razorback Stadium.
Alabama got their scare game out of the way.
Yeah.
Their one scare game.
We
Now Nick
always
Saban
have that.
is gonna keep them focused. I will say this: I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think Arkansas will keep it close, but I just don't know if we got the depth.
Well, that's interesting because that's not what you were saying earlier.
Well, now you throw me under the bus there. Okay.
That was a brutal score what you gave. Here, I want to show you this there. No, I'm just kidding.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
watching the live camera. That's what we were just loading. Cameron, they are really getting blasted. Key West. That's so funny you mentioned that because there it is.
Yeah, right
There's
there.
the stream. All right, so there's that storm. This is
Woo.
going to be confirmed here real soon.
Yep.
Just classic, prolific tornado producer.
Tornado. I'll be interested to see when this is all said and done how many tornadoes it's produced.
Oh, I did have a question here about what's the pink. So that was a good question about this. I'm going to go back to the infrared mesosector. This pink is really cold cloud tops. So these are massive thunderstorms. So if we go back here, go to here.
I mean, they're getting high up there.
That pink that you see, those are really cold cloud tops and really hot thunderstorms. Well, that eye is really asymmetric right now. Look at the dry air.
Sheer and dry air.
Still, though, at this point, it's still a nasty hurricane. Maybe not biblical, but definitely, pretty nasty. Look at the supercells, too, that are firing out ahead. So you can tell the colder cloud tops. There they are. Wow, that storm's really ramping up.
I was going to say when you're saying not biblical and stuff like that.
There is another camera. You can see all the wind in town. It is crazy. Let's check that out. I'll bring that up here. I know that camera is good, but there are other cameras here. So let's go to Key West cameras. That one's not cool.
This one only updates every 8 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And it's down now. Irish Kevin stage cam.
How about this one? Key West cam. That's the one we just had, right?
No, it's not.
No, but yeah, you can see the wind there.
You can see the wind.
But the boats aren't moving very much.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And bring that up real quick. There you go. All right. Man. Yeah, you can definitely see the wind. Boats are shaking around a little bit, but nothing super major. Wow, look at this tornado, though. This thing is really starting to crank up. Oh, man. We're about to get confirmed here. That's actually confirmed from the previous storm.
Look at
That's
that.
not even the new one.
Yeah.
Look at that signature. It's just the radar, not impressive. Normalized rotation is. Storm relative velocity is. And there's ZDR. ZDR doesn't show much of anything. It shows big raindrops. Well, that's pretty typical with these storms. Number one, they're rain-wrapped tornadoes. So,
Pretty big time.
oh man, Kylie. So everybody sided with the Hogs, by the way. Everybody with SEC Nation.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I saw that. Then everybody on College Game Day except Lee Corso had Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
That's when I knew we were in trouble. When Lee Corso's having to defend your team, you're in trouble.
Not so fast, my friend.
He also said this. He said Hogs beat Aggies and then get Bama next week. So he not only picked that, he also picked us to beat Bama. We'll see if he does that again.
Yeah, he won't be. He'll be like, I don't think Arkansas is that good.
He's going to say Bama. by a lot.
Mm-hmm. We could have had game day here.
By the way, what's your opinion on Pat McAfee? Be careful, because he's a former Colt.
I like the guy.
All right.
No, honestly, when he jumped into like I've seen him do some crazy stuff.
He's done some crazy stuff.
So I like the guy.
I love it.
I was just messing with you. All right, check this out. TVS now on this. Oh man,
Yeah, that's a big
that
time.
sucker is rotating.
That's a big one.
That would be amazing to chase.
Yeah, on our boat,
Mm-hmm.
on our little fan boat.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing is really starting to ramp up.
And there you go, right there. You see this area of water?
Mm-hmm. There it is.
That's where you put your boat. Set it up right there.
See if it kicks up any gators. Look at this. Spectrum width isn't that great either.
Nope.
You know why? Low topped. Look at the echo tops.
What?
That's actually up there.
That's pretty high up there, but that's north of it.
Yeah, that's the other.
That's
storm.
the other storm.
Yep.
Wow, it's ramping up.
Oh yeah, pizza, weather.
House.
How about that, Bobby?
Yeah,
What are you doing up so late? It's 12:11.
we got it all here.
I have night owl qualification.
Well,
so,
yeah.
all right, so we got to run. I think we about covered everything. Just for those people that are hopping on or maybe zipped all the way to the end on the replay, which I don't blame you.
Yeah, you probably skipped the pizza eating contest.
Yeah. Let's go back to it wasn't much of a contest because I have to talk. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine if Joey Chestnut had to do talk while he's eating hot dogs.
He has
It wouldn't-
before.
Yes.
I've seen a video with him and Mr. Beast. He was straight up just like casually talking and chilling. It was 1v4. He was casually chilling and talking and ate all of his like way before the other four guys did. He's like, yeah, because he's like eating like this giant pizza. Yeah.
All right. So this is the landfall tomorrow, late morning into the afternoon. Remember, landfall is when the eye crosses, the center of the eye crosses land. And that looks to be a bullseye for Fort Myers. They're saying category 4. We'll see.
We'll see.
I think it might be weakening a little bit.
It doesn't look too strong right now, but I bet you when we go to bed, it just intensifies. Or if Colby goes to bed. Yeah.
Hey, here's someone that said, parents live in the villages, can't sleep. And I understand.
Yeah,
if you
I
got
know.
people that are in Florida, you can't sleep.
It's bad news.
All right, so Thursday morning, making a beeline for St. Cloud and Kissimmee. Then it going through Titusville. Tropical storm is 39 to 73, so
Pretty big impact.
Still strong.
Yep. I'll say this too. Remember, anywhere in that cone really there's the potential for that center to go through.
equal
So,
chances.
Equal chances.
Notice how the cone gets wider over time. That's because the margin of error is greater.
Uncertainty.
And then we're back out to the ocean.
Where
People
not.
wonder about strengthening.
I don't see it.
I don't know. I've seen some crazy things.
Yeah.
My aunt's near Orlando. How many people have been on here saying they've got family or friends or, cousins?
I would say easily over 50,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
There's been a lot of people
Yeah.
that know people in Florida.
Yeah.
That's exactly why we're doing what we're doing. Oh my goodness. All right, one last look at this.
There's another storm behind
Another
it.
tornado warning.
Another tornado warning. And look
There's
at this.
Tornado warnings everywhere.
Another one right there. Did they drop the warning?
Yeah, they're gonna reissue it.
Okay.
No, here's Mega Doppler, and then you'll see they're gonna reissue this.
Look, there's another one right under.
Look at the hook
Yeah. Look at
on that thing. Oh man, yeah, that is nice. That's tornadoing.
Yes. Another one maybe forming
That's going to be tornadoing.
right over the same area, just tornado after tornado.
This one, let's see. Yeah, right
There
there.
it is.
Doesn't look like much, but man, those tropical storms, and they have the best structure too.
Yes.
They really do.
Oh man.
That you can clearly see that couplet though. Still not very deep spectrum with. Let's see how deep the circulation is. And look at the tilt too.
Yeah.
Crazy. So if we put this in 3D, you're just not going to see much of a top. Watch.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's tiny.
Wah, wah.
Wow, things are crazy.
Pretty awesome. So look at it like this.
It really is. Yeah, look at you can see the taller thunderstorm, which is why
It's-
it's pulling up that rotation.
It's awesome too because we know it's not hitting anywhere because it's like in the middle of the Everglades.
Can you move that storm from the Fort Lauderdale area? It will. It's lifting northward. So
Blow it away.
thank you, Don. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Love your family as well. And hey, we got a super weather kid tomorrow. I still got to tell you that
Yeah.
story. So our general manager, I'll just tell everyone on Facebook.
Yeah.
Why not? So tomorrow at 5:00, Driver is his name. That's a
Driver.
cool-
Well, that's a
isn't
cool
that a
name.
cool name?
That is a sick name.
So it's triplets. He loves weather. His whole family's coming. And I can tell you this, that Joel Kelsey, our general manager's husband,
Uh-huh.
sat next to this person when they were flying out to Florida because they're in Florida right now.
Uh-huh.
And it turned out that Joel was like, oh, yeah, we do Super Weather Kid. And he's like, he would love to do that. And so Joel's like, you need to contact them. So I called them while they were flying. She called me back this morning. We got it all set up. He's coming in tomorrow.
That is
Isn't
awesome.
that cool?
Sick.
Yeah, so he's
That
coming
is
in.
So
And
sick.
you'll get to meet the whole family,
I love it.
the Hollingsworth family. So
I love it.
that'll be neat.
That's
All right.
great.
That's actually today, not tomorrow.
Yes, today. Today at 5
Midnight.
o'clock. Yeah.
And that calls for another slice of pizza.
And
One
Don-
more.
Yes, one more. And Don said that you're number one in the house, stuff like that. This man is number one in weather, number one in pizza eating, and number one sports analyst.
And you are. And as well as Baja Blast.
And number one
consumption.
Baja Blast consumption.
That's why I'm up right now. I actually had one.
Oh, that's why. That you got that second burst of
It
energy.
helps. It helps
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good rest of your evening. I know. I bet you, family, Sarasota, Port Charlotte. I know.
And keeping everybody.
Just
in your prayers.
everybody's out there. Charles Peak's out there. We got Reed Timmer. We got a lot of storm spotters, storm chasers, and so see a raise in your near future. I bet.
Yeah.
All
Fingers
right.
crossed.
All right. Well, I got to run. You take care. Lori, everybody else, thank you for watching. Please be safe. We'll keep your family safe. I'll do another Facebook Live when I get in tomorrow, right away, right off
Yeah.
the bat. We'll
Yeah.
kick it off as Ian makes landfall.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, guys. Be safe. We'll be praying for your family and for you guys. See ya.